And welcome along, everyone.
Live, by the way.
Nedu, be quiet. Welcome along to the special race here in Zandvoort, I believe we are at. And it is 3 years here of VD Racing League. We have got a complete new commentator lineup today, obviously with me. But joining us in the comment box will be Harry. So Harry, welcome along to your first season 9. Let's just say that.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you feeling today?
Tired. Yeah, Silverstone only 7 hours ago or whatever. But I'm ready.
Which is a hell of a Grand Prix, but yeah. And we've also got YB back again in the commentary. YB, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a few rounds, definitely. But how are you feeling today, YB?
I'm feeling alright. I can't speak. A bit chaotic after yesterday's Silverstone, but yeah.
I think it's just a big thing. Nedzo, are you joining us in the comeback, or are you're racing today, aren't you? As he goes quiet for the 80th time today. So
I wanted to I wanted to race, but I got on literally half an hour ago, and so there was a 7 gigabyte update, and my Xbox isn't quick enough to be able to do that, so I can't. I'm probably going to be on tomorrow, though. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Well, we will all be hopefully looking forward to the masterclass from Nedzo, and if it's not, we will be deeply upset, and he will have to.
I have a feeling there's going to be a 10 gigabyte update tomorrow. I don't know why. It's just
what I heard.
In there.
It's definitely on the way, Nedzo, and you're in for a big shocker there. But we are now getting in. Hopefully, we have got some F1 drivers with us as well: George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Yuki Tsunoda, la-di-da-di-da, all those ones. So, if Kevin Van Dijk loses to at least one of them, there has to be some sort of skill issue, and there has to be a punishment involved. I'll be deeply upset if there's not a punishment involved from that one. Or Ruben, okay, we'll put those two together. Ruben or Kevin, if they do not beat, if they don't beat an AI, there will definitely be something involved with that. But I believe practically everyone is in here now, and
can we rig him to start last?
Well, I can imagine he will. He might not do qualifying, which makes sense because this is Netherlands, and we want to make it a bit more fun with not those guys. But Kevin, the man who's been waiting to put himself in pole position, especially in the actual league, and yet. Well, he's waiting for that to happen, yet it's never happened. People are just spamming the ready up button there. Kevin Van Dijk and also the others. Jackie Reed has now decided to get an invite, so hopefully he'll be coming in soon. We are starting in 10 seconds time, so hopefully we'll be on for, let's just say, a few good laps of racing, maybe not the whole race. But I mean, Harry, you've had a lot of experience with commentating, so I'm sure you're excited for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race. From my last stint, none of the races disappointed, so hopefully it has the same energy as it had a year ago. I'm
sure it will, and we've got roughly the same drivers from that, and some new faces, but some quick faces as well, with some screaming in the background there of Harry.
Yeah, my sister, I can't shut her up, unfortunately. So.
It's just all the kidnapped people in your basement.
Sounds it.
Yeah.
So that's the worrying part of Harry, the commentator here. But yeah, no, it'll be good to see if we can manage to get going. We've got 2 seconds. There we go. Now we can get going. For qualifying to start, who will be putting on pole position? We will start with Harry. Harry, who's going to put on pole?
I wouldn't say Nico Hülkenberg. Yeah, I don't know why. I just think the Sauber looks really appealing today. Yeah.
I will laugh my head off if an AI just gets a pole position over everyone. And we're going backwards. I forgot about that. We're doing the reverse track. So, there's really no point in corner turns corner numbers because it's the complete opposite. But
I know the corner names around here, a lot of them.
Sorry?
Luckily, I know a lot of the corner names. Should I say the corner names backwards because they're technically backwards?
Oh, yeah, don't worry, I'll still be calling turn 1. turn 1.
So the last corner, which is now turn 1, used to be called Ari Luyendijk, but now it's called Luyendijk Ari.
This is just going to get too complicated for me and Harry, I have to say. He will be dying we'll just be dying in here after realising it's just not going to work out. But on board with Nico Hulkenberg, the man who got himself onto the podium spot in Silverstone. He is absolutely flying. He is on for that pole position hunt, and I'm sure he will be. But with Lando Norris, no, just kidding. It's Ruben. No, okay, never mind. He won't get pole. Hopefully, Ruben will be retiring and starting plumb last, trying to go, all the way from there. But who can put it on pole position?
I was going to say, we've got our own version of Lando Norris. We've got Kevin, he's a bottle job, and so Lando.
And that's what we love to hear. Menzo's big support there from Kevin. Kevin Van Dijk there in not even starting a lap. Nico Hulkenberg is absolutely flying through this back part of the track. Harry, he's on for pole position, I have to say.
Yeah, I completely agree. Just to look at the way he's turning that wheel through the apex of, I don't even know the corner anymore, I think it's turn 3, but now heading up into turn 5, DRS wide open and just acing it all the way down.
He's definitely gliding. He is gliding through those corners, I have to say. And knowing Nico Hulkenberg, he is now pretty confident after winning his first time, not winning, being on the podium for the first time here.
What's that to win?
Yeah, well, he might win today. He might be the winner on our hearts. But look at that, purple sector 2 for him already. He's already beaten Kevin Van Dijk, which was just really embarrassing at that point. Traffic on the inside line there, and that was only one of the drivers getting overtaken by an AI, which is something else. But here he comes now, through turn 1, and up to the line. Where is this going to put him onto the grid? And it's 1:10.2. So can anyone beat that? On board with Kevin. Kevin is all over that curve. He's shaking. He's not liking it. And Jack Doohan. No, Fernando Alonso goes even quicker at 1:10.2. And will Kevin Van Dijk manage to beat it, Harry? That would be the interesting part.
Yeah, by looks of it, he's actually going to be, I want to say, a few tenths ahead, but the way he leaves the final corner, gets his foot on the floor, and he's only gone 8. That is absolute scenes. But I still think whoever that V car was that impeded Hulkenberg, yes, Ruben's just gone fastest, should get like a 10-place grid drop, because that impeded him to a point where he lost them 800ths of a second that saw him come home third. So, yeah.
Here's another driver on the grid. Remus, he's one of the drivers. We say the real drivers here. And he has got the McLaren in front of him. Remus is now coming up to turn 1 and all that lot of stuff. And is going to hopefully put it on to pole position. Will he beat Ruben's time of 1:09.7? Here he comes now, using all the throttle, and comes up to the line. It's only going to be 7 fastest, and he's lost to Alexander Albon, Esteban Ocon, Jack Doohan, and Nico Hulkenberg, and Fernando Alonso. So that is really showing something, that the AI are unbelievable round here, and really they are the best drivers here. But Viv in the Ferrari coming up to the last turn, skimming the inside curb there, coming up to the line. Where is this going to put him onto the grid? It is only going to be 13th fastest for him, so not quick enough. But Thomas here is in the Williams. Now, can the Williams perform a masterclass today? I really hope so. And he comes up to the line. Where's he going to put him? Wow, Hamilton seems to be being him, and they haven't even set a lap time. But here he comes now up to the line. It's only 12 fastest, and he's only just beat MIY there. And who was that? That was Kevin having an absolute... No, wasn't it? Someone else having a shocker.
Yeah, it looks like it was one of the Ferraris. I want to say it was Vivek, but I can't pinpoint the name.
I think
it looks like he just had an upset back end going through that 4th turn and saw the car slide.
Yeah. And, Nedzo, oh, look at that. They've already done with the session, already fed up with the session. Nedzo, what is the strategy today? Because it's complete, the wrong way around. What are we expecting?
So obviously, we've got a reverse race, so we're going to have a reverse strategy. So even if it's dry, you want to go for the wet tyres to start with. And then you want to change for another set of wet tyres once those have run out. Because it's reverse race, so you're going to win on the reverse strategy. Either that, or you start on the hards and go to the mediums, because the regular strategy, I think in Zandvoort will be a medium hard, so you want to give a reverse of that, you go hard medium, because that's just how it works.
And Ruben's already confident in this lap time because he's already retired from the session. Hopefully that's a quality round, but he won't be because that's just the unfortunate part. But Kevin, on for a flyer now, on for this pole position. No, he's completely mucked that up. And, well, lost lots of laps off that. But Wyvie down the pit lane, you know, it's looking a bit gloomy. Do you think we can expect to see some rain?
We could, but I wouldn't think so.
I really hope not, that's for sure. And, well, for the drivers, I'm sure they don't. But for us, you know, we love the rain. We've had it lots of times in the previous rounds. But will it be enough for these drivers to compete with it? Or will the AI manage to beat them? Well, that's the interesting part, coming in 11 minutes' time, as I say that. But Kevin is almost being outscored by his teammate there, which is incredible, as Yuki Tsunoda is an absolutely fly. Nico Hulkenberg, Harry, he's back in the car again and he's looking even more confident.
Yeah, this is where I am being extremely pessimistic, and I think he's actually not going to improve. Just because me saying that, because of Nedzo's use of reverse knowledge, he's going to end up doing better. So hopefully he'll be fastest, but who knows? Anything can really happen.
He was really down in his time then, 2 seconds I believe, so he's not even flying at all, which is such a shame to see from such a talented driver. But here he comes now. This will be the interesting part on whether he will manage to get even quicker on his lap time. As Harry was saying, he was hopefully he will manage to do it, but if not, that will be a big shame. Lewis Hamilton, P2 at the moment, 110.0. He is beating Kevin Van Dijk. Let's just all let that sink in. It is rain. I can see that on the screen. Harry, can you confirm you've seen rain there?
Yeah, I am blind and I can confirm that. It is rather clear, but yeah, Hulkenberg was 2.5 down in that middle. And now with the rain, his laps are just going to get slower and slower, so I honestly think this could be your critical race.
I mean, Nedzo, with these, now it's getting wet, do you think Kevin Van Dijk will actually manage to get a quicker lap time in order to put himself in the top 5 at least, or do you think that's done?
I think that's it, because Kevin Van Dijk we're talking about former 6-time champion and prime bottler. He's actually a partner of Prime Energy because he is good with the bottles, and he's good at promoting them in that way. He's also one of Lando Norris's best friends. He learns all of his racing integrity, skill, and ability to perform under pressure from Lando Norris. So that's basically the reason why Kevin's so good.
And that is why, that's why it'd be interesting. Hopefully for the race it will be raining, which will give all the drivers an even harder chance to try and make this talent even better. But yellow flag, and that is Hulkenberg's teammate of Flop there. Flop has actually flopped it back there. I think trying to let someone bite, or actually just binned it, being on the dries. Esteban Ocon, he is, look at that, you can see he is scrubbing those rear tyres and he's eager just to get back into the pit lane. It's weird saying about all these F1 drivers because, oh look at that, DRS disabled, so really we can call quali done, Harry, because, I mean, you know, it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, it is indeed. Like, you can just see, especially with Thomas there, he's literally chucking the car just to try and get it to rotate the way he wants. And there, taps the throttle and he's almost in a spin. So it's getting really difficult for the drivers, and that's why an early lap here was crucial, and that's what the likes of Ruben and Hulkenberg done.
And I'll just say one of the most impressive crashes there done by Thomas, and he still hasn't made it out, and the marshals are laughing there, I think, as I can see in their faces. That was incredible. Nedzo's 100% done that, probably every race, I want to say, especially when I've commentated on there as well, taking out a few drivers, especially...
I have a podium in VDRL.
Huh?
I have a podium in VDRL, you do realise this?
Do you?
Yes, I do. I have a podium.
Did everyone else retire?
No, I came third in Tier Thursday in Season 5. That's my podium.
Oh.
I qualified second, finished third.
Oh, well, congratulations to Nedzo there. Can you do it for Season 9?
No, because it's like Kevin. Kevin farmed all of his good achievements and statistics when everyone else was a bit naff, and that's basically what I did.
Oh, well, there we go. We've really got a professional driver here. Pierre Gasly in the car now, and he is set to try and go quicker, but really it's not going to work. Marcel, we can go down to the ACM. He is on the soft compound tyres. So I want to see how he's doing. Oh, he's not. He's on the inters. Oh, it's because he sets fastest. Never mind. He hasn't even set that.
It's changed the thing to better to current tyres rather than the thingy Martin. Get your fucking game up with the with the camera angles. Come on.
And there we go. Front wing is gone, and he's given up.
Yeah, and he still can't destroy the wheels. He can't destroy the wheels even if he wants to.
He can try all he wants, but really it's not going to work. I mean,
I thought I made my car out of stainless steel.
that definitely is, I have to say. But
I tell you, if Fernando Alonso twats into our car, is Ferrari, we buggered.
Well, we hope to see that there will be an AI crash. There will 1,000,000% not, but you know, if there was, that'd be be incredible, wouldn't it? Harry, I'm really hoping this is definitely going for rain for this race. I'm sure you're the same.
If so, then this is really going to be working out for ACM, who unfortunately just did drop it like Verstappen did so yesterday. Now trying to end his own life in the first corner, but failing. But yeah, it's really for those out on the inters. Yes, you may think they're ludicrous, but they could actually be learning how the tyres wear out throughout the course of 3-4 laps, so they can kind of work out a rough average of what tyre wear should be under race conditions. Obviously that won't be the same because you're behind other cars, so it'll be a bit more stimulated with the dirty air, but you can get a rough gist of how it feels like and what wear you're expecting.
And well, considering all these drivers here, and as I have to say, I did have confirmation from Martin there that there was no one racing in that in the VD Racing League for when you got your podium. So it was still congratulations on getting a podium. But Martin,
I don't like 8 people racing. I don't know what he's on about. I think he's jealous that I have a podium and he doesn't.
Yeah, but Martin's being the volunteer to provide us with this footage week in, week out.
Can we talk about,
he's a mid racer. He's not on my level.
Well, we'll let that be settled between you two, definitely in the commentators chat, because I'm sure it will kick off. Oh, and Martin said he did win in VDRL. He ended Toro's win streak. So, Nedzo, what is your comeback to that?
Let me get my. You can continue commenting. Let me get my VDRL records up because I've documented every single result in VDRL history, and I've got a nice brief of every single driver that I can attest to.
Well, perfect. So there we go. Nedzo will be on that whilst we, Harry, get going. Thomas, they're trying to go for a quick lap.
Tomasz, by the way, not Thomas. Is Czech.
Tomasz, yeah.
Yes, Tomasz.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tomasz. Call him Thomas.
Tomasz will be going for a lap, but as I was saying that, he's just completely mucked it and was losing the rear end there. The car not feeling confident. Is he on controller? That's the other part.
It could be that, or speculation on my behalf. It could be full wet, maybe, because you can see just how heavy the rain's going. It's really upped its game in terms of how damp the circuit is, especially over the last 5 minutes. So it could be that possible changeover to full wet as you see him sliding with the inters on. Maybe it's not the right compound.
I have to say, I'm excited to see what these AIs can do, and as I say, Tomasz almost goes around there, turn 1/turn, how many turns there are, and so, yeah, here he comes out, up the line. He's going to try and go for another lap time, but really it's not going to do anything. It's a shame that not everyone can retire because, you know, we've got to sit through a few more minutes now of whatever this is. But what should we say as a consequence if AI beats Ruben or Kevin? What are we going to say?
Okay.
Huh?
Nothing.
Got to be careful with this one there. We have got YouTube online here, so gotta keep an eye on.
I don't think spanking is over 18 content.
Well, we've got to be careful as well. You never know that they may not like
what the
that.
viewers want.
If they finish behind the AR, they have to eat a break marker board.
Well, the Lego ones as well. The ones that...
How much Lego can you stuff up your bum?
Right, that is just not the questions we want to be asking for the Dutch Grand Prix. Definitely not. But Tom Nash, still not improving at all on his lap times, and is now coming to the pit lane, locks it up, loses the rear, almost loses the entrance there, and decides to creep back in. But I'm convinced. Oh, yeah, well, Kevin's back on track. Let's see what Kevin can do. Harry, I can't really think he will improve.
Yeah, well, it's a bit difficult to improve when the inters are about 6 seconds slower a lap than a set of dries. But whilst you were talking your bit, I was looking at the chat. I've just opened it up, and Scorpit said, "That's in Netherlands?" ? No, unfortunately, it's in Belgium. So you may be in the wrong country here. And then he also asked, why are bots driving? You can see that there's only 8 drivers from our current grid, but it's because it's an out of schedule race, so we kind of need to make up the numbers one way or another. So yeah, that's why the AI are driving.
Well, they seem to be doing a very good job. But Nedzo, have you got the stats right?
So, I was actually wrong. Martin does have a couple of podiums in VDRL. He has a 2nd place and he has a 3rd place. 2 total podiums. He has 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and 11 finishes from 18 races. He does not have a win. He must be doing what Remus unfortunately doesn't do. Remus doesn't rate himself, and never talks about the fact that he does have multiple wins in VDRL, and one of them was in a test tier that doesn't actually count because it was never actually counted as an official tier. I'm assuming that's what Martin's win was. I mean, Remus is humble, so I appreciate that.
Do you mind putting up your stats as well, please?
Oh, I don't mind doing that. Yeah, I do have 1 less podium, but I think I'm also doing less races as well.
And how long's Martin been doing this? 6, 7 seasons? Because I remember joining towards the rear end of season 4 and commentating this with him being the streamer, and I was literally my weekly goal was to drag him into talk.
Qualifying's done. So as we were just waffling for 15 minutes or however long, 20 minutes or 18 minutes, it's done. And Rubens put himself onto pole position with Lewis Hamilton just falling in behind. Fernando Alonso in P3, Nico Hulkenberg in P4. P5 goes to Pierre Gasly. P6 goes to George Russell. P7 Jack Doohan. P8 Esteban Ocon. P9 Liam Lawson. And P10 Remus. So both the RBs and P9, P10, that's incredible. I'll let Harry take the rest.
Yeah, so that was a session and a half. We saw that the only driver who was actually capable of beating the AI was Ruben. The others got caught in amongst them all. But then the weather didn't really help because it really killed it off within the first few minutes. So it was literally go out and get a lap or you aren't going to get anything competitive. But Ruben, he now has to defend for his life really, because I'm guaranteeing you the likes of Hamilton, Alonso and Hulkenberg are going to be right up his chuff, because that really sets it up for a decent race. And
Toro has joined the session now, so
I think it's a bit late to get into a car.
Yeah, I think it probably is a bit too late. So he will. It'll be interesting if he will, but I doubt he will. But it is dry, which I'm very, very happy to say, and that will be very good for the race as well, especially in reverse. We've seen it go the other way because that's the right way, but we've never seen it do it the other way, and that's a new feature here in F1 25, which really isn't a bad game, I have to say, and the graphics in it have improved. I'm sure Harry can agree with that one.
Yeah, they've improved. Well, partially because I've gone from PS4 to PS5, but yeah, it is very noticeable. You can see so much more detail down the pit lane, a lot more fan movement, more creativity with the designs of circuits as well. And features.
And here we go. We are about to get racing here with the 7, 8, don't know how many drivers we have on the grid, and the rest of the AI. So the lights, hopefully we're going. 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. It's lights out as we go. Lewis Hamilton get this start he wants, but Ruben seems to be doing quite well. Any drama further back in the pack, Toro is done. He's given up, and so far, Nico Hulkenberg and Russell have been fighting through there, but it looks like Hulkenberg just got the best of it. Gasly, Jack Doohan, and Ocon also fighting mid-pack. That's a spin round there for Remus. Remus, the only driver, well, one of the drivers here, has gone round, which is a shame, and that is now affected him, cost him all those positions. He now drops to the very back of the pack, but that's side-by-side action there with MIY and Vastas there. Vastas on the inside line. Will he be able to send a lunge on him? That'll be the interesting part. No, he won't, and he'll let the McLaren just run off slightly ahead. Meanwhile, the AI are absolutely going for it over in front. I think it may not be the AI, but that's a gone round there as well from Tomasz, and MIY is just going further and further up the grid, still side by side, almost avoiding contact there. Vastas there, a driver who's now gone onto the gravel, and it has really turned into a crap show, Harry.
Yeah, it's just been a really scruffy start for so many, especially seeing Ruben lock up into that. Well, I was about to say turn 4 hairpin, but obviously not turn 4 anymore. But it's just been so scruffy, so many drivers dropping the balls, going on the as Hamilton, well, almost went on the safety car, is now out due to probably some of the danger on the track caused by so on and so forth.
And Hamilton is all over the back of Ruben, hoping to, try and get a move done, and that would be incredible if he actually did. But Kevin Van Dijk in P8 on the back of the Alpine. The Alpine seems to be got the better of him, and there's a big gap between him and Ocon. That's a now 5 second gap. But I wonder what happened there. If there was, I didn't know there was a Williams that went around. I think that was Tomasz there, but they're all fighting sadly for the back. And not with the AI. Kevin Van Dijk, I have to say, is being beaten by the AI. So Ruben has got a low allowance because he is in P1, but Kevin has got a hell of a job to do after the safety car restart if he doesn't manage to do it. But hopefully we can see a big improvement with all these drivers, but now I'm sure we'll be under safety car conditions for a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be a good few laps, especially with Miyuki being about, I want to say, 20-ish seconds off the likes of Alex Albon. So it will take at least a lap or two for him to fully catch up to the back markers on the back. But yeah, if you actually notice on the first lap, you saw the compounds drivers were on. If I'm right, one of them was on a set apart, but I believe they pitted under this safety car. So strategy already out the window on the first lap. Which, no, it may have not been Miyuki, it could have actually been ACM, it was one or the other. But the hards are in play, especially in this early stage. This safety car may not necessarily be helping it though, letting the softs and mediums go an extra lap or two longer in this 36 lap race.
And well, hopefully we'll be seeing these tyres get improved. But YD, I'm sure some people have dropped down into pit lane. Vastas there has dropped in. What tyres are they going on to, and will it be enough for them to hold out, or can we expect to see them come back in?
I think 36 laps would probably be too much for the hards to handle, so I'm pretty sure they will come back into the pit. Maybe another set of medium.
Hopefully there will be a nudge on. I'm sure you can confirm that one as well, as he has joined us in the country box. Lewis Hamilton has been absolutely on fire and was waiting for that move on Ruben. Ruben's now pitted. So can Hamilton keep that lead?
Well, the problem with Lewis Hamilton is his statistics and his achievements are a lot better than his actual driving skill. This man has more incidents with other drivers than he has race wins, and that's an actual true statement in fact. So I wouldn't be surprised if when Nico Hulkenberg went to overtake him on the inside of a corner that he just crashed straight into him, because that's what he did with many drivers in the past.
That is fair.
Well, yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen, I have to say. But it would be very entertaining if it did. Safety car still doesn't seem to be coming in, and I'm sure it's all been cleared up. Can we have a red flag, please, to make it more interesting for another race start? I mean, Harry, I'm sure that'd be a lot better.
Yeah, it would, because it really refreshes. You've got block power being the furthest stuff of the bunch, but then all the main drivers in the bottom 7 or 8, meaning it will actually be complete chaos into that first corner. One thing I also spotted was, I don't know if you saw, But in the middle sector, we were riding along with Hulkenberg. Alonso was ahead of him. Then he just despawned and he dropped to 6th. And now he's down in 10th. But Alonso's first disappearance was in the middle of a straight line. So I'm not sure what happened there, but whatever it is, I'm all up for it. If it's disappearing drivers, yeah, it's going to be a cracking race.
I really hope there definitely is, disappearing drivers. Make it definitely more entertaining. I really hope we're in for rain as well, because it is starting to look a bit overcast, and if we are in for rain, like we were in qualifying, it will make the race a bit more spicy as well. But Nico Hulkenberg back onto the podium spot. Will he keep this podium spot, or will Ruben manage to catch up through the pack? Safety car in the slap, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Lewis Hamilton, God, I can never speak. Lewis Hamilton leading us for the first time in this race, and he will be controlling the restart as the safety car goes in. Funny enough, he doesn't jump on the brakes that Oscar Piastri did, so it seems to be like a normal restart. And the red light is flashing there on Hamilton's car, just charging with that battery, getting it ready. As they're about to go green, the safety car has now entered the pit lane, so we are about to go. Hamilton has gone already. He feels confident with this last corner, / first corner, whatever. And Flo has already got a 10-second time penalty as well. But Hamilton runs off now into a distance, but Nico Hulkenberg is definitely on that hunt for that one as well. Peter Gasly's just going to slot in behind, waiting for the opportunity to come. Who else we got further back? Nico Hulkenberg, the man we want to keep an eye on, the man we want to keep a win. So if any of the drivers want to hold up and take out Lewis Hamilton, I'm all for it. Behrman and Viv back down there are having a scrap, as I saw those two names flicker up and down. Sonoda and Flo as well. Flo is going to try and go for no. Behrman is fighting with Kevin. Kevin has gone for a switchback this time. This time he's going to work with the foot. He's not going to work with both because he's going to run the outside. Will it be enough for him to make the move? Florian inside line. Viv holding Kevin out, hung out left to drive, but it still goes Kevin's way, and Kevin slots himself up to P12.
Yeah, there you just see Vivek literally lobbing Kevin off the road, and now Kevin dropping the ball, just like Verstappen did so yesterday, which really just shows Red Bull isn't having fun, A, in real life, and B, here in Zandvoort. So it's just been a very disheartening day for him as Flop Power goes wide, and now a lot of
safety car.
I mean, whoever thought to turn on safety cars in an open lobby is not the smartest, because here we go again. Lewis Hamilton joins us once again to lead the safety car, and this is literally the British Grand Prix, and I'm sure Harry has got some flashbacks already with the amount of safety cars and stuff there was. Thankfully no virtual safety cars in this one, but there was definitely a safety car in this. And MIY is the driver for our first retirement, and McLaren is now done his teammate. And look at that, Hamilton was absolutely ramming the safety car there. He was not happy at all with him. Fancied, all right, well, and Hamilton is disqualified. Hamilton is not happy at all. That is something else to see, and the crowd are going wild. Hamilton fed up with the safety car and gives up, and now Hulkenberg takes the lead of the race here in Netherlands. Harry, that was unexpected.
Yeah, I don't know if Hamilton's robbed through that DSQ, because he's done everything in his right. They're on a racetrack, they're meant to race. It's motor racing, as Christian Horner said to Toto Wolff a few years back. That's what I'm really going to say. It's motor racing. Hamilton's meant to be overtaking, and that's what he did. But I don't know whether or not to say he's robbed or not, because yeah, he did get DSQ, but now we've got Nico Hulkenberg in the lead. I did say he'd get pole. I'm not saying he'll win, you know. It's all up to play. And yeah.
Harry definitely wanted. But hats off to Nento. Nento did predict that one, and Oliver Behrman and Ruben seem like they're fast, but they shouldn't be. But Nento, well done.
Can I just add something? So, Brazil 2012 was one of the greatest races in F1 history, and it saw Nico Hulkenberg and Lewis Hamilton at one point fighting for the lead, but Hamilton went out. Who will be on for the greatest race in VDRL history because of that coincidence?
The start of our lining up.
And that was something else to see, that the safety car, sorry, not safety car, Lewis Hamilton decides to go and run ahead of the safety car after getting fed up there with the pace of this. Now, please don't say Hulkenberg's going to do the exact same, because that will just not end well at all. And I'm sure for the restart, hopefully the safety car will be in this lap. Actually, I don't think so, because ACM and Flo have both into the pit lane to change the tyres. But that overcast is now looking stronger and stronger. I mean, do you think we're in for rain? You didn't say, you said no last time, but we did hit some rain. So what do you think this time?
I think this time we might. But it could be towards mainly the end of the race, depending if we get another safety car.
Well, I'm sure we'll have safety car after safety car because, you know, this is seems to be what this race is, and the AI seems to be beating all the drivers except Viv. And let's talk about Viv, Harry. That was an interesting move with him and Kevin, and he really hates Kevin after that punt.
Yeah, the rivalry is just fueling up. We're going to see a Hamilton versus like Verstappen 2021 rematch between them two for the racing to come.
Here we go now. We are now on for the safety car restart. So, thank God, and we will be. We'll be involved with Viv. Will Viv be able to make a move on Lewis Hamilton? Oh God, I can't say that anymore because he's gone, isn't he? On Nico Hülkenberg, he for the first time leads the pack to restart this race, and will it be enough? And watch, he'll go at the exact same point as Lewis Hamilton as he goes now. Yep, see, that was the exact same point. It must be their little switching CPU memory area or whatever. Well, but here he goes now. Nico Hülkenberg leads the pack now to restart the race on lap 7. 10-second time penalty for Kevin that we love to see. But now Hülkenberg is slowly starting to get a gap between him and Gasly. But it's interesting to see the other moves that will hopefully be forming up further back. But the top three still stay the same. Ruben and Bearman seem to be having a bit of a fight. But looks like Ruben does manage to get ahead of him. Dive bomb further back as well, you can see. With Remus and Bearman, so Bearman's having an absolute shocker, Harry.
Yeah, just been a really messy race in general for the two Red Bull, liveried drivers all around us, and Kevin, of course, one being the proper Red Bull. Yeah, it's just not been the best of days for our VDRL drivers in general. Yeah, you can see that the highest up is 10, and the whole top 9 are AI, but as Maras, I'm going to call it, said, it will rain.
And we're on a safety car. We have hit rain, and we're on another safety car. God, Nedzo, we have been on for about 80,000 already. How many more are we expecting?
Yes. I think we're going to have maybe. I think the maximum you can have in this game in any race is 5. So you could have a missile strike the circuit on lap 36, but if we've already had 5 safety cars, it's not going to change anything, and we're not going to get another one. A lot of people in the pits for intermediates. Ruben is on for intermediates as well. So this is going to spice up the action. This is definitely going to spice up the action. Maybe when we resume, we're going to see the. See, this is the thing. Do you call the drivers who are human controlled? Do you call them real drivers, or do you call the AI drivers real drivers because they're the real life drivers?
I think it's real because they're live. These ones aren't live. If you know what I mean.
No. These guys, these F1 drivers, are taking time out of their weekend to come and race with us. Hulkenberg, Gasly, Russell, they are real. They're taking their time.
And also to be offended by having the part AI next to him would hurt them as well. So that'll be the other part. But now all the cars dive into the pit lane. Will Hulkenberg, the let's just say the championship leader, because he is practically this one, in my eyes at least, taking Tiaz's spot, because he is in Tiaz's car, funny enough, or Tiaz is in his car, let's just say that. But
this is the first time that Nico Hülkenberg has led a racing championship since 2009 when he won GP2.
And there we go, the even more facts there, and he's now done it in 2025 for the VDRL 3-year anniversary league. Which is definitely incredible.
This guy he's going to cherish for the rest of his life.
He will definitely, and he dives into pit lane now, also, does all the other drivers. But sadly, I can only expect that we won't see Hülkenberg's reign of the lead anymore, because Ruben is slowing down. He's slowing down a bit, so he's obviously letting Hülkenberg go out, and Bearman seems to be taking the lead of the race anyway, so I'm sure Ruben knows what to do after this. But you know, this would be interesting to see what this race can do, Harry.
Yeah, my phone's just committed. No, not my phone. PC's committed suicide, so I'm on my phone for a brief few moments. But yeah, Bearman, he's on the drives. It's going to be interesting to see how he fares off against Ruben. not Remus. But yeah, Hulkenberg, he needs to do some, well, overtaking in order to win today. As hopefully I'll be back on my PC in a few moments' time.
Well, whilst he has his difficulties there, we can continue. It's not even racing action at this point, is it? I mean, it's just like, yeah, I have to say, it is interesting. How the hell is Ben not pitted, Neto?
Oh, he is a supreme driver, arguably the best driver in the history of the world, and he can make those medium tyres into intermediates without even pitting. He can do telekinesis through his car, and that's the way he's going to make those into intermediate tyres without having to come into the box.
I completely agree to that, and yes, I'm back on my pieces.
it has lives once again with a little resurrection there from the restart. YB, the predictions are all coming out now, and everyone, well, all the engineers were starting to panic there, but I'm sure they've all got it settled out. As we lose YB there, sadly with some communication problems. So Ruben now takes the lead of the race, and if only he could let Nico Hulkenberg by, that would just be a lot better.
He'll be able to let him by because the game will allow him to go by. So he needs to just go off into the gravel somewhere.
I think he should. If he's listening to this stream, which I doubt he is, I don't think he listens to any of our streams. The only person who does is Remus, but I think, actually, I don't know if he does. Some drivers do.
He probably watches them back to see what he can improve on.
Yeah, and then it's all of us just shit talking him on this.
Yeah.
So, well, this one definitely is not a look back for him after having a few problems, but, safety car is back. And I swear to God, if we get another one in like a lap, I will actually die. But
yeah, with a skewer.
yeah, I literally will. I'll be watching it through skewers. So, Ruben, hopefully safety car will be in this lap. Flo is going to try and join him behind the safety car, but it has been too long for the safety car to be out. Rain is definitely okay to drive on as he already accelerates there. Safety car has got some bit of power. And I watched a video on that safety car the other day. It has 600 horsepower or something? No, that's ridiculous. There's something crazy. Oh, there we go. Thing is, well, the racing gods have opened up and allowed us to get going. Flo is having an absolute shocker actually. Getting rid of their penalty, but still not enough. So Ruben will be leading the pack. A new driver this time, not Nico Hulkenberg, not Lewis Hamilton, who decided he was fed up and has too much money, so went to go and overtake the safety car and then got disqualified, funny enough. But Ruben will be trying it this time, and how will he control the restart of all these guys? The next, let's just say real, Nedzo, the next real driver is Tomasz there in P5, so it's not a huge gap, but Ruben's performance in the wet can be very strong, and he's going now. So he's going to try and lose that rear end. Nico Hulkenberg on the hunt now for that win. Hopefully we can see him on the win, hopefully on the podium even. But Ruben now crosses the line and we start the race on lap 12. I mean, that is just something else. That's a move down the inside there from Tomasz and Russell, and he has done that nice and easily. And that's a crash as well, and that's Tomasz Amford. Oh, sorry, I thought it was a safety car, but the thing uploaded.
It's a safety car.
It's not, is it?
It's a safety car, but
I think it's green flag. It's just
going track.
Yeah, it's just done that. Like it just loads it and then they'll go in a minute. Let's see. So Ruben now leads the pack once again, and Nico Hulkenberg is going to be in for that. Harry, I want Nico to win.
Yeah, well, in qualifying we saw numerous of the VDRL drivers, Van Dijk and Thomas, attempt to use inters on a wet track. Currently they are all on inters on a wet track, and those two drivers struggled, so maybe it could be something to say for the whole set of drivers that they could be struggling as this race progresses, which may actually make Hulkenberg favourite for this race, which, if I'm right, provides him with better stats than both Martin and Enzo, because neither of them have a win.
That is true, actually, yeah. If he can do that, that'll be even more incredible. Nezo will absolutely smiling if he will be able to do that, because he knows that Nico Hulkenberg will be way quicker than him. Not the real one, the actual AI one. So that will be quite funny to see. Pierre Gasly all over the back of Nico Hulkenberg, and he's going to try and look for that move when he can, but he's just going to stay and wait for the opportunity to come, whereas Ruben really hasn't run off with that one, Ned, so has he?
He hasn't run off, which is surprising me. Either he's just purposely limiting himself by, for example, not using any ERS, or for some other reason he's just decided to limit himself. But it is quite funny how Hulkenberg has managed to keep with him, as Tomasz has decided he's done for the day, which is fair enough. He was going nowhere and did a bit of a rolling chicane, so he may as well have done that. But I'll tell you one thing, Kevin is not doing the best of jobs. He's losing time to the biggest Tory in Formula 1 right now, the Jacob Rees-Mogg of the Formula 1 world.
And yeah, as you say, he is losing time to him, because he is, what is that, that's 8 tenths. God, that is incredible. And he's going slower because that is a yellow flag for the back, but that's gone for some reason. This game is just laggy, not laggy, it's just glitchy as hell. But Ruben still tries to lead, but Nico Hulkenberg, with the aura and the power he has, he's going to just try and stay on with him. Obviously no DRS yet, but can we expect to see some moves on them hopefully soon? Kevin is the next driver to come along, but this podium will be very, very interesting if Ruben crashes.
Yeah, I think it would probably be every single viewer's best day on Earth, because they'll be seeing Nico Hulkenberg, and there he goes. That's great clutching timing, mate. Ruben has just gone off, and now Hulkenberg leads, but Van Dijk currently holding the crown of the VDRL.
And he is there in P4, but it looks like that Ruben is going to try and fight this time. Whether that was purposeful or not, I doubt it. Esteban Ocon is gone from the race, and was that a mechanical problem there, or was that something else? But Esteban Ocon is another gone driver. Thankfully no safety car for this one, as he has pulled over at a safe spot. Pierre Gasly onto the back of Nico Hulkenberg. We really don't get to say this, is quite good commentating for the actual guys. But anyway, Ferrari there, Viv has received a 10-second time penalty actually from that moment. But will Ruben be able to make the move on Kevin from P4? So far, Nico Hulkenberg is flying up at the front, but Pierre Gasly is definitely putting more pressure on him, Nedzo.
He is putting more pressure on him. So we've got a one-time race winner and a one-time podium finisher. All we need now is to get all of the one-time podium and race winners from recent Formula 1 history. Get Pastor Maldonado and get Heikki Kovalainen in, and we'll have a great battle.
And I really hope it is. Well, hopefully we can kick Russell out of the way. And I don't think there's anyone else who's got one to their name, at least.
Ocon? I mean, no, Ocon's out, never mind. Let me have a look. So, I want 2 podiums, never
You
mind.
could say like Ben in like first year.
I mean, it's not even his first year though, because he did 2024.
Yeah, that's true. Oh god. But never mind then.
One race with Ferrari, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, he's been in an F1 race at least. YB, the conditions are not looking stable at all. Do you think we're far from wet compound tyres?
I wouldn't think so, but it would depend how the drivers would feel, honestly. But you kind of see still a dry line kind of forming a little bit.
You can actually, you are right. There is slowly a dry line forming, but maybe it won't be enough for the rest of the race. But caution safety 2 there, as it looks like Viv is just coming up to that area. No, it's not. It's an Aston Martin and Vastas there, dropping even further back. So conditions aren't right for them. But Nico Hulkenberg leads another lap here in Zandvoort, and Kevin is just going to try and hunt this one down. But will Ruben make a move this time? Hopefully, we'll see some rules racing instead of the retirements or disqualifications. Lewis Hamilton already overtaking the safety car, but was it on the first? No, it was on the second safety car. Look at that, Kevin all over the back of George Russell now. All Kevin has to do is just punt him out the way and get rid of Russell, hopefully put him in the barriers and say goodnight to him. But Kevin would like to be in the podium. He's not the best. I have to say, a bit cocky guy. But, you know, anyway, Kevin is now hopefully going to try and go for that podium spot into P3. Ruben is going to, after missing out there with going into the Brumley trap, hopefully going to try and move himself back up to the lead of the race. But we want the man, then there's the legend, Nico Hulkenberg, to win this race, Harry, don't we?
Yeah, 20 laps out, it's gonna happen. I'm still putting my money on it. I will gladly pay each of you, I don't know, 10p, that if he doesn't.
Well, there we go. Do it settled.
Yeah. But out of anyone, Hulkenberg has to win. There's a bunch of cars limping to pit lane here. Is it possibly from wet conditions made it?
Well, that will be a question down to YD. YD, all the cars are diving now into your direction. What is the tyre move now?
It is currently now full wet.
It's definitely full wets there. And you say that Remus goes off track. I can't even tell if that's turn 2 or if that is just whatever turn 16.
All I know is it's somewhere on the circuit at this point.
Yeah, we'll just say a turn on the circuit and he's managed to go off. Kevin is struggling there from Ruben, as it definitely is wet compared to our condition, as these two are absolutely squirming, but Ruben tends to be quicker in the rain. Will Kevin, who is third place in the championship at the moment, I believe, will he be enough for him to try and hold off the P2 in the championship? He's to be fighting throughout the season, but look at that dive bomb looking almost there from Ruben, but Kevin is not liking these conditions, squirming that rear. Ruben is actually drifting it into the corner, managing to get the better exit there. Will it be enough for him to make the move by the end of the lap? They'll definitely both be pitting this lap, but will Nico Hulkenberg stay in front? That's the other part after the pit stop. And how well will they do? But look at that, Ruben's really sliding. He's going, look, he's going one way, the other way, no, backs out, and he's just going to wait for that DRS. Well, there's not even DRS, is there? He's going to wait for another opportunity to overtake him. Still squirming that rear as well. Kevin is not liking it, and they don't pit, which is really interesting, actually, Harry, considering it is definitely wet compound tyre conditions.
Yeah, I think it's partially because they're able to see who's in top 5 alongside themselves, or the two cars outside of them, they aren't in top 5. They can see Hulkenberg and Gasly in the gap, and they're not going to pit until they start losing at least half a second. Because when that happens, they know they will start plunging down the hill. Until then, stay on the inters and try and really bring out that tyre delta. Yes, I'm a very technical person.
Well, definitely, and hopefully the two can manage to do it. But Kevin seems to be getting better out of the corners and running off ahead. But Ruben does manage to seem to get better in those corners, probably in that second sector as well. I mean, Nedzo, what do you think these conditions are? Do you definitely think they're wet compound, or do you think the inters can last out?
I don't know, I'm keeping my eye on my gap between Remus and Hulkenberg, and then trying to translate that to a gap between Kevin and Ruben and Hulkenberg. I think they're about similar at the moment, but it's going to keep getting worse, I believe. This is shades of Belgium 2008, like when Massa, Raikkonen and Hamilton were battling right at the end on tyres that were clearly not suited to the conditions, and it's very good battling, that is. And that's why I think if they do come in this lap, I wouldn't be surprised. But then again, if they don't come in this lap, I also wouldn't be surprised. So let's see what they do. Yep, they decided to stay out, so they're confident. Even though Remus is definitely losing time, although I think they are, as a collective, probably not losing time to Hulkenberg. We can see what the fastest times are going across the line now.
I believe Hulkenberg actually gaining about 6 to 7 tenths per sector at the moment, because it was about 14 seconds or whatever about a lap ago between Hulkenberg and Remus. It's only 11 and a half or whatever. And Remus is only dropping about a tenth or two to Ruben and Van Dijk. So it's definitely looking like momentum is in favour of those on the wet compounds. Therefore, I would be urging them to pit, but it really does bring out for a great race, with them being on the fresher compounds in a sense, as they try and work their way back up through the field. It's going to be great between now and that 36 minute lap.
And the stream on here on YouTube is looking absolutely rammed with one person watching, and I believe that's probably me, just keeping an eye on the chat. So nothing, oh no, 2 people, never mind, slowly gaining more, but I think they're actually reaching 3 people, so Interesting there, but Ruben is now looking for a move on Kevin where he can, backs out and stays behind. Hopefully going to try and get that move again. They're 1,000,000% losing time. It was 13 seconds 2 laps ago, so we're now dropped down to 9 seconds. So it's getting interesting between these two, and I'm sure they're not fast on the win on more of just beating, or who will beat one another, but both of them are definitely squirming those rears, and they're not liking them at all. But here it comes now. Ruben keeps getting closer on that straight, Harry, but yet it's just still not enough.
Yeah, it's getting close. You can just see how close the ground is to the rear end of the Red Bull. To a point where you get quite a nice view of the Oracle sign on the rear wing, as Ruben taking much tighter lines, really trying to sneak through the exit. But as a result, that just lets the Red Bull slightly pull away after continuing up through the slow speed in the high speed sections. It's really back and forth race.
It really is, and he's really trying to catch up to him as much as he can. But it's obviously not going to be enough for this part-time. Kevin seems to be getting quicker exits out of the corners, but Ruben likes to get better entries in there, being more confident on the brakes. But Viv 10 seconds penalty for another speeding in the pit lane there, and he's not happy at all with that. But now Ruben's getting even closer this time, coming into Nedzo. Go on, what corner name is that?
I think it's Hugenholtz, but I'll have to check that.
Whilst he checks that, Ruben still trying to make that opportunity come to get Kevin, but yet it's still not going to be enough there for him. And who will be able to do it by the end of the race? But that's the interesting part. Look at that, he's getting so close to him. I mean, why do these conditions? I can't tell if they're actually starting to loosen up or not, but I mean, the drivers in the wet seem to be getting way quicker. I mean, is there a huge explanation for this?
I don't actually know anymore. It really looks touch and go. One lap on Convergence gaining, the next is the Inters. So it may actually be on that crossover, but if Martin could, can he change it to leader? Because then we will actually truly know how it's looking between the leaders and the wet drivers.
Well, yeah, obviously, as somebody a stream pause there for a bit, but we're back again, and Remus, sadly our stream's paused once again. No, we're all good. Remus is going to try and catch up to Ruben, but knowing Remus's pace, possibly not actually. That is interesting because Remus is actually catching him more and more and more, but Kevin's still into the lead of the race, and that's late there from Viv. As he was getting blue flags out of him there, so he drops further. Viv is 35 seconds there from Fast Pass, so really he's out of the contention.
It's just not been their day. The AI has outclassed them in these conditions at Zandvoort. Or however you can Zandvoort to reverse. Yeah.
Voltand, there we go. Well, that is the track there for you. Voltand, here we are. Remus still not liking that car at all. Ruben is once again fighting with Kevin, but I can only imagine the AI are just going to be the exact same, of just staying simple. The gap between Bottom and Gasly is 0.5 there, so those two are quite close. But if I knew this race would dry up, hint, nudge, which would make it a lot more interesting to see, and hopefully that Hulkenberg manages to gamble on the pit stop. And obviously these two drivers, Kevin and Ruben, knew he was going to get drier, so those two have just played it smart and just waited on these inters before they can go back onto the dries. But YB, these inters must be slowly running out of grip more and more.
Yeah, we surely are, but I think we're still going to try and edge it out until the circuit's fully dry, I think.
We definitely aren't. We're not too far actually, not too far out from being dry, so it's going to be interesting to see how the weather is going to play out there. But Nedzo, I mean, this has to be the most exciting race for you.
See, people are saying, oh, it's going to be dry soon. Do we not remember what happened in our Silverstone race? When there were drivers on fully dry conditions staying out on intermediates and only being like 5 seconds slower than guys who are on dry conditions and on fully dry tyres. I think that this is going to... We're not even at the stage where the track is dry. Off racing line, it is so clearly wet and all that sort of stuff. I think that this race, unless it will stop raining now, is going to be dry. It's going to be wet until the end.
Well, that would be interesting. Part Ruben goes one way, goes to the other way, and will it be enough to overtake Kevin? No, and Kevin with the huge tractor, actually it looks like, covering off behind. But look at that, Ruben seems to be finding more and more grip and is giving Kevin even more of a nudge there, just to say I'm here and I'm ready to make that move. When he can, Kevin goes a bit deep out of the apex, Ruben tucks in, but the exit seems to be going Kevin's way, Harry.
Yeah, it's just going to come back in the next few laps with Ruben, but you can see the crowd trying to serve for down patches. That just shows how the tyres are starting to overheat. Really just going to get worse and worse as Hulkenberg and the AI begin to pit. So, those on the inters staying out throughout the full wet periods, it's worked, it's a charm.
It definitely has worked, and they'll now be going on to the intermediate tyres, which really was just a bit of a waste of those wet compound tyres now. So through they go. Russell is now leading. Sorry, no, Hulkenberg is still leading, but I can only imagine that these top three will stay the exact same. But here he goes. Ruben is really hunting now for the lead of this race, and I'm sure it's not far away from it either. But he's just wanting these conditions just to toughen up more and more, and for them to make their mind. But I doubt that's going to happen now. Here he comes now. He is all over the back. Kevin goes actually a bit deep there, mucking up there, and he's really keep getting affected through that one corner. So, I mean, is that just his grip, or would you think that's just him not playing it well? Look at that nudge there.
When it comes to these wet weather conditions, especially on a game like this, I think Jan Ortmeier described driving in wet weather on this game as like driving a hovercraft. You always had to have no grip and to be inside. Turn one, that was a very risky move from Ruben. It didn't work out. I think if we keep seeing more of that though, sign me up, that'd be something fantastic. But back to your question, it's so easy to make mistakes in these conditions that I wouldn't really put any sort of errors or little quibbles in little corners to certain drivers and say they're doing something really wrong and they really need to improve, because these conditions on this game are about as predictable as, well, I can't think of something off the top of my head that is typically predictable. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube when you're blindfolded, trying to guess what the conditions are going to be like in this game.
It's definitely a way to put it as well. But Ruben is now really hunting for that move into, hopefully, to secure his the lead, and who will be diving the pit lane first. The track is definitely drying up now, and Ruben is looking this time. He just keeps nudging him, Harry, and he's not liking it at all. Kevin there is going to go a bit deep, but still manages to stay ahead of Ruben. He's done an awesome job defending, but we've seen down this back straight that Ruben gets the slipstream, manages just to catch up more and more, but will Ruben manage to do the same again? Is he going to use this battery? It is. It's activated now. No DRS yet. Until we see the DRS, it will be even more interesting. But here he comes now, getting even closer. And will he see the move? Hopefully coming through turn 2. Looking, but yet, Harry, it's not enough.
Yeah, just unfortunate. Ruben is getting desperate. You can see, as you said, the constant nudging. It's almost like someone who's been pushed backwards without the person in front of them knowing they're there, and then being like, come on, I'm here, let me park, or whatever. It's really starting to get into Ruben's head. That's why we're seeing a bit more contact. That's why we're seeing him using the battery he's been saving for the good last 10, 15 laps. Because he wants that place. Because the moment it goes dry, if Van Dijk pits first, he could be 5-6 seconds down the road, and that could be his race over. Whereas, as he's proving to be quicker, if he overtakes now, he'll be able to fly past. As you can see now, heading up, more battery usage, and now trying to brake as late as he can to stay as close to Kevin as possible, just so he doesn't lose as much time. But the car really starting to step out, and that gap slowly starting to build as the conditions start to suit Kevin's setup a bit better than Ruben's.
and it's definitely going to try and get him on this back straight now because he is managing to use all of his, well, he's using a bit of his DRS, but that is just the car using it, not him. But Ruben is just too far away there from Kevin as we are almost approaching lap 30, but still got to go through lap 28, 29, obviously. Well, look at that, they're both squirming there for the grip. Ruben just kissing the gravel trap there a few times now, and obviously that may show the grip on the tyres. I mean, YB, as the track is drying up, these guys in the inters, the old inters, must be struggling.
Yeah, they are, but I'd still say we're still holding out until it's much drier because there's no point pitting now because this track's still wet enough, wet enough not for you to slip.
Yeah, 100%. And well, look at that. Ruben is actually losing quite a lot of time there to Kevin until he approaches this section. We know Ruben's quicker through this section, but Kevin seems to actually ace this section properly this time. Caution sector 2, and that is a stopped Red Bull actually. Who is that? That is not Yuki. That must be
in the V car, I believe. I think he just had a spin. That's why it's set up in yellows.
And that is, yeah, there he was there. And Kevin. Yeah, why would it be Kevin? Sorry, yeah, Ruben is still not close enough to get Kevin. Nedzo, I wonder what the lap distance is before he does him.
Well, I'm not really sure what we could do to possibly avoid this. I mean, you could maybe try and come in for another set of inters and just go new set of inters till the end and try and win on strategy. But at the same time, you'd have to gain like 3 seconds a lap, which would be practically impossible. I think that the way that it's been set up, Ruben has to go for a banzai move. He had so many opportunities into old turn 3, aka the sharp right-hander coming up to the end of the straight. But he always chickens out every single time. He needs to just send a dive and not worry about the consequences, rather than just chickening out at the last minute.
Well, definitely, and look at that, Ruben is just trying to get even closer this time. He's closer than he was the lap before, and he's, well, the track is definitely drying up more and more and more. It's definitely into conditions as the other driver has pitted 4 laps ago. But here he comes now. Now, will Ruben make the move for the third, well, for time after going off on the gravel trap, affecting too much? But Kevin van Dijk still leads the Netherlands Grand Prix, or Dutch Grand Prix, to say that. But it looks like he's just getting in close to using his DRS. He's got close to no battery left. Kevin's still recharging his, but still not enough there. But look at that, Kevin goes a bit deep there, which is allowing Ruben to catch up more and more and more, but it's still not going to be enough for him to make the move. Maybe we can expect to see one soon, Harry, because they are really nose to tail.
Yeah, it really calmed down over the last few laps, but that was when Ruben was searching for dry, as there he goes down the inside of Kevin, and that's the move done. But will Kevin fight back? You can see he's really trying to get it in as he goes for another send. This duel has really just spiced up the moment you stopped talking. I think it was a blessing in disguise. But there's Ruben. He's now officially your race leader once again, the pole sitter for this race as well. Can he convert it with these 9 so laps? Who knows?
Keep an eye on Kevin's battery, it's pretty high, and he's now trying to catch up to Ruben this time. We know Ruben may be quicker through this section, but it's Kevin quicker throughout the rest. That's the other part. Another 10-second time penalty. It must be about 30 seconds he's had now, and close to qualification as well. But now Kevin is going to try and get the better exit of the corner. Ruben goes a bit deep and manages to straighten up the car and find the gap. But look at that. Sorry, Kevin is using. He knew this move was going to come from a long time ago. He's going to go for a move down the inside, but Ruben shuts the door this time. Ruben's going to try and cover him as well. Will we see the exact same move once again at the same spot, just on the exit of Sector 1? But here he comes now. Kevin is really all over the back of Ruben, and he's wanting to make this move stick and just get it done. Oh, there we go. I think I'm back this time now. There's a few disconnection there, but Kevin is going to try and catch up to Ruben as much as he can, but it's still not enough.
Yeah, it's really starting to get on both of Ruben's nerves. As there's Kevin almost dropping the ball, but he's keeping it the right way at least. Just showing how dry the circuit is. The inters are no longer working on this tarmac. as there's Kevin almost into another full spin. I think it's time to pit. And if Kevin can trigger it this lap, and Ruben stays out another lap, easily race win for Kevin in my eyes. But it's disappointing how Nico didn't manage to get it today.
It is a big shame, actually. I mean, YB, the conditions are now drying up. How far away are we from the dries?
I'd say maybe one more lap. I'd say maybe.
As we've already got a pit stop there, Vastas there. Maybe it's this lap. And we will see what tyre he goes on to. And I believe that looks like the mediums he's going on to. No, soft compound tyres he's going on to now. So, he now enters on the soft, and Viv has been in the soft a few times after speeding the pit lane quite a few times. But has managed to use up his penalty as well. He is 1 minute 37 behind Vastas there, and just unlapped himself. Well, I'd say, I don't know if he's been lapped 2 times now. Anyway, that gap between Kevin and Ruben has dropped, and I wonder if that was Ruben just wanting to have a fight with him, or if that was Ruben actually having some genuine problems. Hopefully it's neither, but they are definitely coming in soon, Harry, and that will spice it up a bit more.
Yeah, you can see both cars wiggling. That was a massive correction Kevin had to make, but Ruben's also doing it, so it's not like one of the two are struggling. They're both struggling, but obviously Kevin's slightly more, you can see a bit more exaggerated in the corrections such as there. But into the pits goes both the leaders, but Kevin misses the pit exit, gets a 3-second penalty, and that he now has to stay out for another lap whilst his rival gets the pit, which has gone all wrong for him today.
And he's basically bottled that now completely, because Kevin has now got to have a crazy in-lap at this point by pushing it hard. Remus still yet to pit this time, but Hulkenberg, will he be in the pit lane? Obviously all the other AI, yes he will, and all the AI will join him as well, per usual. No he's not, George Russell is going to try and stick it out, so is Gasly, so is Albon, so is Lawson. Wow, that is interesting. So, Hulkenberg taking the gamble and hopefully going to get a crazy outlap. All the AI are not liking it at all. And that is really interesting, Nedvo, because why is only one AI come in but not the others?
Well, I don't know why, but the softs are definitely better. Kevin did a prime Kimi Raikkonen at the 2007 European Grand Prix. Kimi Raikkonen in that race just missed the final corner and had to go on another lap. But the problem was he was on slick tyres and it was pouring it down with rain. This time it's that Kevin was on the intermediates and it's a dry track, so he needs to be sure to be careful on pit lane entry this time, and he has now lost the lead. I think Hulkenberg has just made an inspired decision and he's going to have to try and get past the other AI. Kevin's into the box, but it's I think if I was Martin Brundle, I think I'd say it's a day late and $1 short.
Yeah,
It definitely
exactly that.
Yeah, it definitely is that, because well, he's now onto the pit lane, into the on for the soft tyres. There you go. You can see Ruben on the top left of the top left screen, as he now goes through to take the lead once again, and that is yet a huge gap for Kevin to try and recover in the space of only 3 laps, Harry. I can't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. I think this is really just going to be a competition on who can set the quickest lap at this point, because everyone, apart from the II, are fairly spread out. So it's really going to be, everyone has their own bit of dry tarmac. They just have to see what they can do. But you can just see how much Kevin's lost. He's 15 seconds behind Ruben. And he only stayed out 1 extra lap.
That is the crazy difference already, and as obviously YB was saying, we were definitely on for at least 1 more lap. Those inputs before they all came in and took the gamble, but the AI obviously didn't take the gamble enough, because Hulkenberg has now managed to, he's almost leading. Where is Reese? He's in 7th, okay, so he's got a bit, but it seems to be that Hulkenberg may be beating Reese there, but it is, look at that gap between those two, and I think he's almost done in there as well. So we can go down to him. He's too fast. Hulkenberg's a man who we want to be on the podium at least. He's back on the 2-3. Ruben already won 11.1. He's going even quicker. Look at that. Hulkenberg coming up. Just snapped there. Remus may have punted him there, I believe. And he slots them in. Now Remus managed to do Behrman on the interior tyres. Dive bomb. Locks up the front right, but manages to make it stick. And Behrman will be pitting this lap. And if not, that is just ridiculous. Okay, so it's ridiculous. I don't know why he's not pitting at all. He's now holding up Hulkenberg, which is the worst thing we want to see.
Yeah, I'm sorry to butt in, but I feel on Martin's behalf, we asked, can you stop eating the man?
I am a bit hungry, I have to say, so I have had to do that a few times, sadly. As I believe I'm all done now, so thankfully my beautiful mic problems should be completed, as I just had to open my door to let the dog in, which was probably the bit sounded awful. But Hulkenberg going for a dive bomb on Behrman this time, and it's an awesome dive bomb there, sorry, not bomb, awesome dive bomb. There, and that's a yellow flag as well, but no one seems to be stopped on track really. That's side by side there between Flo and Doohan. Flo is going to try and get punted there. Doohan is not giving his position up. Flo on the outside line, giving a hand up, going round the corner, which is just not clever at all. And Flo going for the inside line. Doohan not backing out either, almost making contact between these two. But look at that, Flo still going to try and force Doohan off as much as he can, but it's still not going to be enough. And Doohan still sticks to the outside line, and he's going to go for a switchback as well. But it seems to be that Flo has got the quicker tyres there and the quicker pace.
Doing really giving it his all, just to come but it's not anything major by outline, but still every place is something in it. Flo and Dylan both really giving each other a bit of argy-bargy. If I was at college, I'd be sending to like isolation or something for that conduct. So I don't know what happened about that, but probably mine started back and racing. That's
Well,
Kevin's Ruben, by the way.
yeah, that's what I was literally about to point out. Kevin and Ruben have managed to get even closer to Simon. They've got DRS opportunities more and more now. As we're about to go into it, Kevin loses the rear end, allowing Ruben to skip ahead. Will it be enough for a second? I don't think so, as we've already passed the detection point. And it seems to be that Kevin will be getting DRS this time, and he now comes up to finish the line, and we've actually on the last lap of the race now. So can Kevin get the lead of the race? He goes to the roof down the inside. Kevin's going to try and make a stick room for the outside line, and who's going to be out ahead? Ruben manages to cover with an awesome defence there and stays ahead of Kevin this time. Kevin's got another opportunity of the DRS, and he's going to try it this time. Ruben is going to try and defend as well. We've got a back marker coming up as well. That may give Ruben DRS, but it hasn't. Ruben comes to the inside line this time. Kevin goes the long way round, but will it be enough for him to go round? Remember, he's got the 3-second time penalty, so either way, Ruben has won the race, but we like to watch the racing action anyway. Kevin for the inside line, dive bombing him even more. Ruben is going to try and hold this one out as much as he can, still sticking to that outside line, which has no grip, but really seems to be it has. And Kevin just slots him behind, and I can only imagine he's just accepted that defeat, as Viv is in front and he's going to try and get out of the way, thankfully for the drivers. No, cuts in front. And is now going to try and continue, and Ruben is all over the back of Kevin, and look at that snap of the rear as well. But Ruben now comes up to the last corner. He started on pole position, the man was born to win this race. Here he comes now, Ruben now comes win, no, and Kevin comes now to win this race anyway, but Ruben still slots ahead, and Ruben is the winner here in Zandvoort, with an awesome race there between us two. But the first AI driver to cross the line will be Alexander Albon in P4. I think Hulkenberg just missing out slightly, Harry.
Yeah, I'm gutted with that from Hulkenberg, but I honestly think what Ruben done on the end of that lap was respect. I think Ruben was saying if Kevin didn't fuck up, he would have won. But
It definitely, which is a huge shame there for him. And that's definitely a respectful moment between us two. They both respect each other as drivers on track, as the rest of the grid now just come up to cross the finish line there. Still waiting for Flo and Doohan. Doohan is actually .4 apparently off, yeah, but it's not enough, as Flo Power is now going to come up to finish their lap, and it is, there we go, P12 there, Doohan in P13, that's us in P14 coming up to the line. Viv, we have still yet to wait. There we go, that is now across the line. And Viv,
on lap 34, if I'm correct.
which is incredible, considering he's, well now, in the Ferrari as well, overshooting it completely, and seems to be done as well, coming into the barrier, saying thank you very much to the track staff as well. But Nedzo, that was an interesting race towards the end.
Yeah, it was. I like to see the strategy. I like to see Kevin bottling again. Surprise, surprise. And it was just generally quite fun to watch.
I definitely think it is, and I mean YB, that was a very, very interesting as well towards the end. You know, I'm sure it got very tense with all focusing on what the right strategy was.
Yeah, that was just a race and a half. But Ruben, victorious. That was just as good as the last event I've done. But I've got to go and commentate now, so
We'll see you later, Harry. Thank you all so much for coming for this one, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
Thank you for having me, and I'll see you all later.
See you all later. So the finishing order there goes off from the win there from Ruben, but Kevin missing out from that penalty spot. Remus in P3, P4, Alexander Albon P5, Nico Hulkenberg sadly missing out on the podium opportunity. P6, Fernando Alonso, P7, George Russell, P8, Pierre Gasly, P9, Ollie Behrman, P10, Liam Lawson. God, we can just keep going through the AI. P11, Yuki, P12, Flo Power, P13, Jack Doohan, P14, Vastas, P15 goes to Viv. But don't go anywhere if you're also here, because we are now going on to the interviews. So we'll see you down the interview section. Well, we've had a hell of a race through that, and we are now on to the interview section, starting with P3 there. P3 did go to Remus. Remus, you're back on the podium again. I mean, tell us how that race went.
Yeah, I try to stay close to Kevin and Rajic on inter condition, but I was losing all the time in one corner. Yeah, nothing much to say. And I wanted to let Hulkenberg to P3 to make Martin happy, but yeah, Kevin said it's not a good idea. So it's Kevin's fault.
Well, we will all blame that on Kevin completely as well. YB, do you have any questions for Remus at all?
No, not at all.
Well, one Remus on P3, and hopefully we can see that on Friday as well. Fingers crossed. But we move on to P2. Kevin Van Dijk, you're back on P2, but that was kind of a race to forget.
Yeah, I mean, I had a nice little fight with Ruben. That was nice. But when I went into the pit entry, I went in a bit too deep and lost a little bit of front wing, and I got it 3 seconds. But yeah, it was a boring race because I only had could fight Ruben, and the rest was basically AI. So yeah.
Well, I'm sure you saw that you were actually slowly getting gapped by Nico Hulkenberg himself, actually, in the intermediate conditions after the safety car. I mean, can you tell us your thoughts through that? Because the AI, let me just remind you, the AI were beating you, Kevin.
Yeah, the AI was very fast today, especially on the straights. They were insane. I couldn't overtake them on the straights.
It just has to be Nico Hulkenberg because he is just one of the best in the world. But well on there for your P2 there as we now move on to Ruben. Ruben, that was disrespectful from you at the end there, or was that you just trying to wind up Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, we were in the same voice chat, and he was so far. I told him I wait for you, and he said yeah, and I wait for him, and at least my another idea was to give a little bit of action, even though it wasn't very worth as he had 3 seconds, but in the last lap or in the last 2 laps, give a little bit of action more than all the race that sadly we had less attendance. I understand it. It's Monday, so it's quite normal that a lot of people have chores to do. They have to work, and yeah, they maybe they want to spend the day with the family. I don't know. But yeah, I hope the other races are better than this, more attendance, but we don't know, so let's hope for it.
Well, you're definitely a good fight with the AI as well. I do have to say that. But yeah, hopefully we can see all this good racing action on Friday and also tomorrow, because we are back tomorrow, same time. But yeah, hopefully we can see all this good action with the actual race league and with hopefully a full grid, not just 7 drivers or 8 drivers, how many there were. And well, yeah, I think that's it. I think that pretty much sums it up. Unless YB have any questions for any of the drivers.
No, I have none at all.
Well, okay, so we are all done for the stream for today. Congratulations for the VD Racing League for being here for 3 years. So that's a very big hats off for them there. It's a huge honour to commentate for them as well amongst all the drivers. So a huge thank you there to Martin there for doing an awesome job of taking lead of this league. But until then, we will see you tomorrow, same time. And we will be back hopefully with a bit more of a bigger grid. God, I can't even speak. But until then, we will see you then. So goodbye.